Good morning, children of grace. I hope that some of you have started reading along with us as we are learning about Jesus in our Bibles this winter at Grace. If you did read our story this week, you might have found it to be a familiar story because it was the story of Christmas time. But it's also the story about the very beginning of Jesus's life on earth. And since we're trying to learn about Jesus, the beginning is a good place to start. So if you didn't get to read along, I'll remind you it is the story of how God came down to be with us on earth and was born as a little baby in a manger. And it's the story of how that good news that Jesus is born was told to some average, ordinary people, shepherds who were watching their sheep. And when they heard the good news, they ran as fast as they could to Bethlehem, full of joy and wonder. That was our story this week, but there's another part of the story that we didn't read about, and I want to tell you that part today. At the same time the shepherds were hearing this good news, there was a very mean king named Herod. And he wanted all the power and attention for himself. So when he heard about baby Jesus, he got very angry. And he started scheming and plotting and trying to spy on Jesus by telling some wise men to go spy on Jesus. And trying to make a plan to get rid of this new king, to get rid of baby Jesus. And just generally causing a big, scary, angry fuss because he was so worried about his own power. I wanted to tell you that part of the story because it's a good reminder that sometimes something scary and big can be going on with important people and people in power. Just like this week, you may have heard from your parents or on the news about some big and a little bit scary things going on with our president and our government and our Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And yet, at the same time these scary things were going on with Herod, that is the same time that the shepherds were hearing the good news about Jesus from the angels. That is when they were rushing to Bethlehem to see this baby who was showing us God's love. And that is when God was coming to be with us, show us love through this little baby, Jesus. So the same thing could be true today, that even though big, crazy things might be happening in our government, God is still with us. And God still has good news of joy to share with us, and God is still showing us love through lots of people and through lots of stories that remind us how much God loves us. So I hope that you will keep reading along with us this week as we keep reading about Jesus, because Jesus is the one who shows us God's love. Be blessed.